What is going on, guys? My name is Josh, bringing you a brand new video over here on the Shuffle Squad YouTube channel. Today, we are going to be going over the 5 best cards from the brand new Pokemon TCG expansion, Silver Tempest, coming out early November. There are some awesome cards coming out in the new set, and today we're going to be going over the best of the best. So before we hop into that, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Atlas TCG, you can use code TSS12 to get 12% off their store. The PTCGO store, you can use code TSS5 for 5% off. We want to give a special shout out to PokeX Word, where you can do some awesome Pokemon crossword puzzles every single day. And then of course, remember to check out the Shuffle Squad Patreon, where you can find articles and deck lists by yours truly, as well as all of the other fantastic Shuffle Squad members. So we are just going to hop right into it with number 5. Now at number 5, we have Regieleki VMAX. With 310 HP, this electric type Pokemon has the ability Transistor, which says your basic electric Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance. And then for an electric energy and 2 colorless, Max Thunder and Lightning does 220 damage, and during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. We do have a weakness to fighting, no resistance, but finally, after so many sets, we get a Regieleki with 0 retreat cost. Finally, the fastest Pokemon in the game gets a card with 0 retreat, which makes this card absolutely great. Now that Transistor ability is really what you're going to want to use Regieleki VMAX for, and it does stack. You can put multiple Regieleki VMAX into play, powering up your V Pokemon, your basic lightning Pokemon like Zekrom, to do even more damage. Now, the main partner you're going to want to be pairing Regieleki VMAX with is Vikavolt V, right? We all know this card. It is the one item lock card that we have in the format that's been so close to being a strong powerhouse in the format, but hasn't been quite there. And I think Regieleki VMAX does get it there. Obviously, that paralyzing bolt attack for a lightning and a colorless energy does 50 damage. During your opponent's next turn, they can't play any item cards from their hand. Now, Item Lock has a history of being incredibly strong, but that 50 damage makes Vikavolt struggle to keep up with some of the harder hitting Pokemon in the format like Palkia, like Arceus V-Star. So now, thanks to Regieleki, your Paralyzing Bolt with a Choice Belt and 1 Regieleki in play is doing 110 damage. With 2 Regieleki VMAX in play, you are 2-shotting any normal V-Star and 1-shotting a Palkia V-Star while simultaneously locking your opponent out of item cards. An incredibly strong combo, and thanks to that Regieleki VMAX's 0 retreat cost, you have an easy pivot to promote when your Vikavolt Vs are knocked out by your opponent's attacks, making this one of the best cards in the new set. Moving right along to number 4 on our list, we have Regidrago V-Star. This 280 HP Dragon-type Pokemon is said to be an absolute force in the upcoming metagame. With its attack Apex Dragon, for 2 Grass and a Fire Energy, you can choose an attack from a Dragon-type Pokemon in your discard pile and use it as this attack. Its V-Star power, Legacy Star, says during your turn, you may discard the top 7 cards of your deck, then put up to 2 cards from your discard pile into your hand. Now, something important with the V-Star power is that once you discard those 7 cards, you can choose any 2 cards from your full discard pile. An original translation implied that it was just going to be 2 cards that you discarded there, but it can be any card in your discard pile. So anything that you've used throughout the game, you can take back into your hand with the Legacy Star power. Now, Apex Dragon is reminiscent of the Mewtwo and Mew tag team GX that allowed you to use the attacks of GX Pokemon in your discard pile. Obviously, this is limited to Dragon-type Pokemon, but right now, we do have an absolutely insane amount of strong Dragon types, with even more coming out. One of the first cards that comes to mind when you think of things to pair with Regidrago V-Star is Hisuian Goodra V-Star, that tank and heal option that we have had see so much success in this current format. This does give you the option to potentially tank quite a bit of damage from your opponent's attacks, making math awkward for them, stopping them from being able to KO your Regidrago V-Star. We have cards like Duraludon VMAX with Gmax Pulverization, doing 220 damage and going through all effects on your opponent's opposing Pokemon. You can get through Miltank, you can get through all sorts of damage reduction like the Hisuian Goodra V-Star, and it is super, super strong into those decks that want to stop you from being able to do that damage with things like abilities, like attacks that reduce damage. We also have the brand new Dragonite with that Energy Hurricane attack, doing 180 damage and searching your deck for up to 3 basic energies and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like before shuffling your deck. Those of you who have been playing the game in this last couple of formats will recognize that attack as basically Trinity Nova, doing 180 damage, which is the exact same as Arceus V-Star with a double turbo energy, allowing you to accelerate those 3 basic energy to a benched Regidrago, setting up your next Regidrago V-Star without the need for something like Gardenia's Vigor, allowing you to stream attackers as easily as possible. The last card we're going to be going over with Regidrago V-Star is Garchomp V. That Sonic Strike attack says discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 220 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Any of their Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for benched Pokemon. That 220 number is so important in this format, allowing you to take a quick KO on any baby V that is currently meta relevant. Palkia V, Arceus V, even things like Dialga V are going to be one-shot by that Sonic Strike attack. So as you can see, all of these card options, and we only went over 4, make Regidrago an incredibly versatile card that can take the metagame by storm if people aren't prepared for those niche Dragon-type decks. Coming in at number 3 on our list, we have the Forest Grove Tablet. Now, Forest Grove Tablet reads, when this card is attached to a Pokemon V, it can use the following V-Star power. Star Alchemy. During your turn, you may search your deck for any 1 card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Now that is basically 50% of a Star Birth, but the amount of power in this card is something that you don't want to underestimate. Everyone knows the big bad face of the metagame, Mew Genesect. Well, now Mew Genesect has a V-Star power. You can attach Forest Grove Tablet to a Genesect V, and now not only can it draw your hand up to 6 cards, you can also use a star power to search your deck for any card you may want. Turn 1, Battle VIP Pass. Later in the game, a Gust card, a double turbo energy to attack with your Mew. Any piece you might need, Genesect V can now use Forest Grove Tablet to find it. And what makes this card even crazier is that Path to the Peak, the enemy of every new Genesect deck in the format, does not shut it off. So if Path to the Peak is in play, you can use your Forest Grove Tablet ability to search your deck for a Stadium card. Bump the Path to the Peak and keep trekking along like nothing ever happened. This card is looking to be absolutely crazy, taking one of the strongest decks in the format and propelling it to an even higher state in the meta. Next up on our list at the number 2 spot, we have probably the most anticipated card from the Silver Tempest set, the face of the set, Lugia V-Star. Now this is a 280 HP colorless Pokemon with the attack Tempest Dive. For 4 colorless energy, you do 220 damage, and if you so choose, you can discard a Stadium in play. Then, its V-Star Power Summoning Star says, during your turn, you may put up to 2 colorless Pokemon that don't have a rule box from your discard pile onto your bench. That is any colorless Pokemon without a rule box, meaning that you can take a Stage 2 colorless Pokemon from your discard pile and plop it right onto your bench. And that is exactly what you plan to do with this deck when you pair it with the brand new Archeops. Now, Archeops has an ability called Primal Turbo that says once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 special energy cards and attach them to one of your Pokemon. 2 special energy cards is half of 4. So if you put 2 Archeops onto your bench in 1 turn, every turn, you can accelerate 4 special energy onto a Lugia V-Star, setting it up to attack that turn. Now, everyone is aware of powerful colorless energy, basically a card that was tacked into Arceus, allowing it to one-shot baby Pokemon V if you use Starbirth to get it, and a Belt or a Zigzagoon, you are able to take those knockouts. But now, if you Primal Turbo 4 powerful colorless energy onto your Lugia V-Star, you're doing 280 damage, enough to knock out any V-Star in the game. If you attach a Choice Belt, you're hitting 310, which is enough to knock out that Mew VMAX. Primal Turbo is also a very versatile ability, allowing you to attach special energy like Lucky Energy, like the brand new V-Guard energy. Anything you could possibly want can be attached with that Primal Turbo ability, making Lugia V-Star probably the best deck to come out of the new Silver Tempest set. Coming in at number 1, to absolutely no one's surprise, is the brand new supporter card, Serena. Serena reads, choose one, discard up to 3 cards from your hand, you must discard at least 1 card, then draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand. Or switch one of your opponent's benched Pokemon V with their active Pokemon. Now, this card is obviously incredibly versatile. Not only does it allow you to discard cards, it allows you to draw cards, and it can function as a gust card for any of your opponent's Pokemon V. This card can function in so many decks. Any decks that want to discard cards, the Regidrago V-Star we just went over, Regibox, even something like Palkia V-Star that wants to get those water energy in the discard pile really early can benefit from Serena's discard ability, and then on top of that, you get to draw up to 5 cards in your hand after that discard. And if at any point you decide you don't need to discard, you don't need to draw, Serena functions as a boss's orders for any Pokemon V. Now, that gust ability is absolutely nothing to scoff at, as besides Regibox and maybe a few other things like the Lost Box deck that's been popping up in popularity recently, most decks are playing at least some form of Pokemon V that will allow you to take advantage of this Serena card. That versatility is absolutely amazing and something we don't have anywhere else in our current format. So Serena looks to become one of the most important staples moving forward for not only this format, but many, many formats to come until Serena rotates, making it the absolute best card in Silver Tempest. Well, everyone, that does it for my top 5 brand new cards coming out of the Silver Tempest expansion. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below if you agreed or disagreed with my rankings. I do want to thank once again all of our sponsors for supporting us, and I cannot wait for all of the brand new decks in the Silver Tempest expansion. If you are looking to read more about my thoughts on the Silver Tempest expansion, be sure to hop on over to the Shuffle Squad Patreon, where tomorrow I will be dropping an article on numbers 10 through 6 on my top 10 list of Silver Tempest cards, and I'll catch you on the next one.
The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectibles, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com and at the checkout screen, make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectibles will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
The Shuffle Squad is partnered with PTCGO Store to provide our community with the best access to Pokemon TCG codes. They have codes available 24/7, instant email delivery, and you can save 5% off by using code TSS5. If you're a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, you'll have access to a special code that gets you 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Use code TSS5 today and save 5% on your next order of codes on any codes available at PTCGOstore.com.
Pokex Word, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every day, and they recently launched a new Guess That Pokemon puzzle, which is a ton of fun to play. Go check them out at pokeexword.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter for your chance to win a ton of PTCGO codes every month.
Check out the Late Night Series Season 6, brought to you by myself, Zach Lesage, and the Shuffle Squad. We're going to be running a bunch of sick events for the Pokemon community, and they start on August 30th. So one thing you might be noticing here is that there's an EU time and an NA time. We have one at 12 p.m. Eastern, which works out to about 5 p.m. in London, and then we have one at 7 p.m. Eastern, which should help out a lot of players on the West Coast play in this event. That being said, we still have a lot of cool things going on. Expect similar prizing that we've had for other Late Night Series events. Expect better staffing, expect better tournament experiences, and of course we do have a stream going up for this season as well, and I will be streaming the event on Twitch. That being said, we have the whole season up on the Play Limitless website. Late Night 51 all the way through 70 runs until we hit the Invitational on November 5th. So check that out, sign up today, and support Zach Lesage Events and the Shuffle Squad. See you there.